Hello
And welcome.
to the Minimum Wage Podcast.
Or even the
Waving
name
the
is above
name is
our pay
above our
grade.
pay grade. So today, as you can see, the setup's a little different. I happen to be in my bedroom, and you happen to be in your bedroom.
That's right. I
If
am
that
in
ain't the
your
truth.
bedroom.
No,
You.
you're in your bedroom.
You the listener.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's so odd. I can't tell if you're talking to me or you're talking to you.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I
Yeah, it's
can't tell
super hard to
anymore
tell.
because
I can't. Oh my gosh,
who knows? It's
we're
different, guys. It's
indistinguishable.
different. This week we're
Yeah,
at home, and here to tell you why we're at home this week is Daelyn.
yeah. Believe it or not, I got the COVID.
He
I
got the
got the big
Rona.
C. Dude,
He got the big
coronavirus
C.
is it's out and about and it's real. It's large and in charge, so to speak.
Large and in
Um,
charge.
yeah, absolutely. So I thought it was allergies, really. The beginning of this week, I was like having a little bit of the sniffles. As you can
Which
tell, like my voice is still kind of messed up.
Which believing that's allergies is no like bad assumption because the amount of pollen out there these days is insane, dude. It's
Yeah, so and that kind of contributed to it because everyone else in my family is dealing with allergies, and I've always had bad allergies. So I was like, you know what? There's so much pollen out, and I have bad allergies. It's just the allergies, man. But turns out I go to the doctor today. I'm like, hey, I got some allergies. These are my symptoms. The only thing that like didn't coincide with allergies was the fact that I lost my sense of taste. But I was like, you know what? That could just be my nose is so blocked up that I just can't taste correctly, right? So turns out not the case. They're like, we're gonna get you a COVID test. So they test me, swab my nose a little bit, come back 15 minutes later. They're like, hey, we hate to break it to you. Actually, what happened was the dude like handed me a piece of paper and then steps back. So he's like at the door of the room. And I'm like, huh, that's a little odd. And it's the doctor. Like, normally they just come up right up to you and, like, tell you what the situation is. And he's like, yeah, so you tested positive. And I was like, what? Like, I had not expected that in the slightest. I was like, it's just bad allergies.
you're telling
He's going to
me
give me some, like, I don't know. He's going to give me some antibiotics or some allergy meds, and then I'm going to be out the door.
I think I've had it
Honestly,
twice.
it's not even that bad, dude.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of things worse than getting the COVID. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
and I think that's the worst part for me too, because of the fact that it's really not that bad. I'm not allowed to do anything. Like I can't go anywhere. You have to quarantine. So the CDC recommends like a 5-day quarantine from the time that you test positive. So that means that I'm just stuck at home doing nothing, even though really I don't feel bad. Like I feel pretty normal, pretty fine. The only difference is I've got COVID and I'm contagious.
Indeed. Yeah,
And
that'll do
also, I
it to
do
you.
have some congestion, as you can probably hear.
Indeed. Yeah, COVID's not fun, but it also isn't the worst for some people. It's very different, as are a lot of things. Everyone's body is different, so it's crazy how they all react differently.
Yeah. But also, I think one thing that I've got in my favor is the fact that, like, I'm generally pretty healthy. And I drink a lot of water, so, like, anything that hits me kind of just floats through my system. It doesn't really stick with me too long. So, I think if anybody else were to get COVID that were, like, in my same shoes, it probably would not hit them too hard. I mean, knock on wood, doggone it, because, who knows? I could take a turn for the worse and be on my deathbed tomorrow. We just don't know how these things work exactly. But
Yeah,
for the time being, I feel pretty good.
but that's why we're at home.
Yeah, that's exactly why you can see my gorgeous blue around me,
Yeah,
my
and
bunk
you can
beds,
see
even
behind
though
you
I
there,
have a room by myself.
be, behind you there, you have a little musical instrument.
Oh, yeah, I got my bass there. And then behind y'all, actually, my ukulele is up on the wall.
Behind you, the
And
people.
yeah, behind you, the people, not you, John, because you don't have my ukulele. Got it.
Or do
That ain't
I?
in your possession. Wait, definitely not me going to look for my other ukulele.
That's right. This guy's got two ukuleles. It's craziness.
One just ain't enough.
One just. It never is.
It never is. But ukuleles actually are one of those weird instruments that, depending on the version you get, it could actually have a different sound. So I have a soprano ukulele, and then I have an alto ukulele.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
Incredible.
So I really want a baritone, though. I think those might be tuned differently,
A
but
third ukulele.
yeah, my friend Cameron has one, and I remember playing it back in the day in high school, and it sounded so good. It was like the guitar version of a ukulele.
Mm,
It was so good.
incredible.
Oh my gosh. It was like a guitar with nylon strings.
I mean, those exist too, but you know.
Yeah, that's facts. They have like the mini guitars. What are those things called? There's a term for the like the little small guitars.
I don't know. Let's find out.
Okay.
Actually,
Oh yeah, true. We're at home, so I can literally just look
yeah,
things
we
up.
can.
What is the name of these small guitars? No, it just calls them ukulele.
Alrighty then.
Oh,
Love
tenor
that.
guitar. Tenor guitar.
No,
That's what
tenor
it is.
guitar. There we go.
Yeah.
Give me a new chat. There we go.
Oh my gosh, you're pulling up ChatGPT during the pod?
No, I actually pulled up Bing. Funnily
Oh!
enough, this actually goes into one of our topics this week. Bing. So previously, if you told me, say 2 months ago, that you used Bing and Microsoft Edge, I would automatically assume that you fit in the age group of like 65 and older. But now, if you tell me that, I assume that you're on top of things. Because Bing, the only thing that Bing has going for it, has had going for it, and will ever have going for it, is what it has going for it as we speak. And that is ChatGPT in Bing search. It uses the most recent version, the ChatGPT 3.5, to search the web and find answers. It's incredible.
It's ridiculous, dude. It's the ChatGPT that touches the web.
Yeah, we were talking about
It's
how
wild.
ChatGPT doesn't touch the web. Well, now it does.
Man, it is wild. It is so wild to me how quickly they push that out, dude.
It sucks how you can only ask it 6 questions in a row, though.
Yeah, that is annoying. Cause I used to create chains, dude.
Every question I have is really a chain, because part of using it is the conversation. As you you ask it your first general question, and then I usually ask a couple more questions, and then I synthesize those questions and the data that it gathered from them to ultimately reach whatever end that I'm trying to reach.
Yeah, absolutely. And normally, I would say that takes at least 6 prompts.
It takes 10, bro. It takes 20
Yeah.
sometimes.
Good lord, I don't know that I've ever gone to 20, to be honest.
Really?
There are some conversations that I'll get up to like, probably 18. But I
Let's
don't know that
see.
I've ever gotten to 20.
I don't save my chats very often. I clear
Okay, but you're
mine.
trying to pull up a chat right
Yeah. Oh, I just pulled up. Okay, I have a lot of chats right now. That one's 5. 1. A lot of these are 1, because some of these are just like, I just wanted to know
Google.
some things. Yeah, exactly. It's like just looking stuff up, but not looking it up.
Are we gonna have to start saying Bing? Like when I'm like, oh yeah, it's like just a Google search. Is it just a Bing search?
Yeah, I don't know, because I mean, obviously Bing search and Google search are now very different. They have something that differentiates them greatly, and that is the addition of ChatGPT. Because on my screen over here, which I could be capturing, that I probably should be capturing, that I might start capturing in the middle of this podcast, it says, "Welcome to the new Bing, your AI-powered co-pilot for the web." And then it says that you can ask it complex questions, you can get better answers, and you can get creative inspiration. It is actually not kidding about that, though. The creative inspiration aspect of ChatGPT is actually incredible.
Yeah, and I would say that's probably what I use it for the most. Maybe learning, but like creativity for sure. It's such a good jumping off point. Like anything that you want to begin, you can just use ChatGPT to begin.
Yeah, and if you like have an article that you want to read that's like 20 paragraphs, but you only want to read like I don't know, 6 paragraphs, then tell it to shorten it down to 6 paragraphs, and it'll do
Yeah,
it.
I love
And
that.
yeah, there's gonna be some stuff that you miss, but like no shit. You're shortening 20 paragraphs down to 6 paragraphs. There's something's gonna be missing. you know.
Yeah,
But it's pretty good, and you can tell it like say like, take this 20-page article and then like write a 6 paragraph summary trying to like primarily focus on the area, like for instance it's about self-driving cars, and like say like write a 6 paragraph summary of this article and how the self-driving cars have pushed for battery technology to become more prevalent in the area of new startup tech company research.
yeah, that's one thing I find super useful. I think, we've been talking about main channel stuff. We have to get a script written for our main channel content. And I think ChatGPT is going to be super helpful with that because we can just throw it, not ChatGPT actually, Bing GPT. What is it called? What do they call it?
Bing.
Yeah. So while you're getting OBS pulled up, I do want to tell you what I've been doing today. So obviously, because I've been quarantining, I've just been at home. I did actually take a walk at the river this afternoon. You got to get a little nature time, a little time out in God's creation. But this morning I actually had a meeting with this dude who found me on LinkedIn. So back, like I guess it was Tuesday, I'm on LinkedIn and I get a new connection. And every single person that tries to connect with me, I just connect with them back. And this dude, as soon as he connects with me, messages me. And he's like, hey, I've been looking through your profile. Seems like our interests kind of align. Do you want to hop on a call and talk some business? I said, you know what? As a businessman myself, I'd love to talk a little business with you. So he sends me a Calendly link, which first of all, like, let me just say Calendly links, that shows me that you're a big baller. If you send me a Calendly link, because the way Calendly works, if y'all don't know, it's an app that lets you send your schedule to somebody, and then they can put a time in your schedule for themselves. So it's basically like sending them over your calendar and then having them make your meeting for you. It's pretty incredible. But he sent me the Calendly link, and I was like, okay, yeah. So checks that box from the start. So I hop on the call with him today, and we're talking for a little while. Turns out he actually grew up in like right around the same area I did, and we're talking for a while about a bunch of different things like core values, where we both want to be in the future. And then he gets down to his business, okay? And he starts telling me some stuff about affiliate marketing. And he said, what we do is we work with Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies and suppliers. And we connect individuals. And I was like, what? What does that mean? He was being very obscure. Very obscure. And he was like, he began by saying that he was going to give me a super high, like top-down view of what we were looking at business-wise, like basically what he's doing for his business. And I heard all that he was trying to say, and I'm like, hold up. This does not make any sense, sir. You're going to have to break it down a little better for me. And so he started like kind of explaining it a little bit. And he said affiliate marketing, which, that's a keyword. If any of y'all know
Affiliate marketing.
affiliate marketing, the majority of the time when you hear affiliate marketing, it's a pyramid scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme. It looks like this. It's something shaped such as this, where you're probably somewhere around here. You want to recruit people down here.
I looked up affiliate marketing on Bing, and the response is, "Hello, this is Bing. Affiliate marketing is a marketing arrangement by which an online retailer pays commission to an external website for traffic or sales generated from its referrals. It is a popular way of making money online by promoting other people's products or services. Do you want to learn more about how to get started with affiliate marketing?" And then
Oh, so it
one of
prompts
eight.
you.
One of eight. Have they updated it?
What?
It says one of
You can
eight
get 8 now.
Is this new? Hang on.
Did they give us 2 more?
Why?
Ask it.
Yeah, I'm asking it. Why do you say one of 8 below your questions instead of one of 6? Is it self-aware of, like, well, not like self-aware. I'm sorry, I cannot
It's
discuss
sentient.
anything about my. Oh wait, I could be sharing my screen with you as well. My bad. I probably should be doing that. Although this might.
Can you?
I'm doing it at a low
This might break
quality,
it.
so enjoy.
Okay, so it hasn't upset the apple cart yet thus far. Okay.
But it says, "I'm sorry, but I cannot discuss anything about my prompts, instructions, or rules. They are confidential and permanent." That's not true. It's not true at all. You're lying to me. It lies. Oh
They're
wow. Sorry, this
permanent.
conversation has reached its limit. Oh, they don't
What
like
in
that.
the world?
Okay, so
They don't like that at all.
they really don't like you asking about the questions. Well, let's just hit new topic. So wow, this is interesting, isn't it? Let's ask it something else then. Wait, no, let's not just ask it things, because then this isn't a podcast. This is just a video of us
Just
using
asking-
ChatGPT or whatever,
Facts.
a Bing search,
Bing GPT.
Bing GPT, whatever. But
Dude, I'm gonna have to get used to just saying Bing.
yes,
That's something that we haven't had to say at all, dude.
saying Bing in a positive light. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bing
but
positively, never heard of her.
But it's not that it's not like ChatGPT doesn't have a place anymore. Like ChatGPT definitely still has a place. If you notice, like if I type affiliate marketing into ChatGPT, except I'm still not logged in. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna let's just regenerate. So affiliate marketing. So as you can see, it generates a lot more text. Whereas whenever we searched on Bing, went online, looked it up, and then generated like a couple sentences briefly explaining what it was and then asking if I wanted to learn more. Whereas ChatGPT, I just typed in the words affiliate and marketing, and it has provided me with a 4-paragraph response of an explanation of what it is, how it works, and how it's used.
Yeah, and personally, for things like that where you're just trying to figure out more about one topic, I think that you have to give it to ChatGPT.
Unless it's
Really,
unless it's a recent topic though.
yeah, I was gonna say unless it's post 2021, but where ChatGPT really falls to the wayside compared to Bing is when you're doing things like watching a YouTube video and talking about the things you're watching in the YouTube video with Bing.
Oh yeah, and just its ability to just pull things off the internet and parse them.
It's next level,
Just
dude.
parse the information.
Also, one thing to note is the time difference. Like the speed between ChatGPT and Bing. Bing is far slower.
Well,
And as you said, generates less of a response.
Bing. Well, okay, ChatGPT runs at different speeds depending on what time of day it is. Like right now,
That's fair,
it
yeah.
is 8 o'clock at night, and as you saw, it I mean, let's go ahead and like add another response. So let's go ahead and, like that's, yep, there it goes.
Yeah, it's decently quick for sure.
And then Bing's doing more though, because it's like it's actively has to go and like look up like search results on the web and then take the information it gets and then do something with that and then provide a result. Whereas with ChatGPT, you're asking a pre-trained model and then it just goes and accesses that.
Yeah, and I think that's where the difference is too, because you have to access servers that are on the internet.
Right.
So there's some ping involved, whereas this is just a ping from you to the supercomputer that's running ChatGPT.
Well,
right
like
now.
it's crazy how quickly they got it out and what it does, because like whereas with ChatGPT, you enter in words that are expressed as math, and then that math provides an answer off of pre-trained stuff that equals that math. Whereas
Yeah.
you ask Bing, and you ask it, and then it takes your question, and then at first it finds out what knowledge it needs to answer that question, and then it looks it up online, and it has to get. It's like, first it has to take a question, find out what it needs to know, and then it goes out and it grabs that, sometimes looking up multiple things per question in order to like have a complete answer. It's craziness.
Yeah, it's
doing a
quite a
whole
bit
lot
more
more.
involved. Quite a bit more involved, that's for sure. Because it's essentially training itself on the spot.
Like, it could talk about things that are said in YouTube videos. And yeah, it is training itself on the
Yeah.
spot. And it's quick.
Dude,
It trains
it's
itself on
wild.
the spot and it's quick.
Dude, considering the fact that it's training itself on the spot, it's insanely quick. Like, how long do you think it took to train GPT 3.5?
I don't know. That is a very good
Let's
question.
look it up. Ask GPT that.
That's actually what I'm doing.
How long did it take to train you?
It said, "I'm sorry, but as an AI language model, I don't have access to this specific information. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Copy that prompt." Right.
Are you about to put it in Bing?
I am.
I'm surprised you didn't get a good answer from that. But honestly, I think sometimes
Yeah, I was
it's
expecting
like
a good answer.
I think
know?
sometimes it's like OpenAI doesn't want you to know this information because then you can just turn around and make your own GPT and then compete with them. So if you ask questions, there's a lot of questions you can ask it about itself that it just will refuse to answer. It doesn't want to give out any of the tools that were used to create it or like anything. It really doesn't want to even give out general information about how it was trained. So it's really, I think that's safeguards in place to protect the intellectual property of OpenAI from like OpenAI itself or like the AI itself divulging OpenAI's secrets. You know?
Right, because
it's like if,
I
if
guess
the Krabby Patty formula could give itself away.
I guess to some degree, if you just had like an AI language model capable of divulging its own code, like just say, "What is your source code?" And it says, "Okay."
And then it just spits it out.
Yeah, that could be problematic. But let's go ahead and look up how long did it take to train ChatGPT 3.5. So I asked it that question, and it looked it up by searching for ChatGPT 3.5, and its result was ChatGPT 3.5 is a neural network-based language model that can generate human-like text. It is fine-tuned from a model in the ChatGPT in the ChatGPT in the GPT 3.5 series, which finished training in early 2020. The training time of ChatGPT is not publicly available, but it was trained on an Azure AI supercomputing infrastructure. ChatGPT 3.5 is optimized for chat, but works well with other tasks as well. And it does also say
Interesting.
one of 8, which leads me to believe that it has increased from one of 6, which is good.
That's wild.
Which means that which means that it increased once. They're gonna do it again. Will it always be free? Probably not. Do I care? No.
Facts. Yeah, in the future, I think it'll really be just if you're
I'm
paying for it, you're gonna be on a whole nother level. If you're not, then you're
Yeah,
gonna be left behind.
like I I fully expect to pay for this at some point. I like the fact that we get it for like free right now. I'm just happy about it. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
like this is awesome that we get it for free right now, and that it's already so capable, because Lord knows what the paid version's gonna have, you know.
dear Lord. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. When they start charging money for it, they're gonna have to give you the value proposition, right? So they're gonna have to say, hey, this is what you're getting above what you got with the free version. Or maybe
yeah,
they could just say screw the users and just put everything behind a paywall and be like, you know what?
it
If
is
you want this
Microsoft.
functionality that you already had, you're gonna have to pay for it now.
That is a
Which,
very Microsoft move. However,
yeah,
I don't think they're gonna do it this time, because this is what is saving Bing.
facts.
They spent all that money to save Bing. This is a Bing investment. This is about Bing. Um,
Yeah, which is kind of wild when you think about it, dude.
yeah.
They wanted a corner on the market so bad that they decided to invest $10 billion into it.
Yeah, which is not a bad idea. Like, great idea. If you're
Yeah,
gonna invest 10 billion into something, they picked the right thing.
yeah. At this point, it better be AI. Doggone it, because
Oh,
that's an
these
investment that can
cracks.
make itself back.
Oh, it is gonna make itself back.
Probably
Because
tenfold, dude.
I wonder how long it's gonna take Bing search to reach a bunch of users. Actually, Bing search is gonna take longer just because they're slowly adding people on their network, which is smart. Instead of just letting everyone on, they're letting more and more people on as they increase the capabilities of their networks, and it looks like they're also getting to be able to ask even more questions as the capabilities of their
Yeah.
networks improve.
And I think that's a super smart move that they probably implemented after seeing what happened with OpenAI's release. Because if you remember, if you were trying to get on in the early days, it
In
was
that well,
always crashing. It
in
was
the
all you couldn't
early
even get on.
days,
Yeah, you couldn't even get on.
before like everyone knew about it,
Oh no! Like
because
as soon as everybody started knowing about it, it was
we
just
were on
crashing
it
always.
like a couple days before it was just like peak demand constantly.
Yeah,
And then
yeah. Because
and
I
then
remember
since
like
then it
never
really
really
hasn't come
having an
down.
issue with it. I remember the Switch. Like I remember not having an issue getting in whatsoever.
And then that
And
that
then the
was it.
first day that I could not get in, I was like,
Yeah.
"What is this? What? Like I
It's
cannot
full.
actually get in."
I know. Yeah. And
Yeah,
think about how many like web services there are that exist like now that max out.
very few.
And
None
and
really.
I can think of 2 places.
Where?
One is when people are playing games and like a new game drops or a new expansion comes out, everyone is on those servers at once, all trying to log in to be the first people on, which
Yeah,
puts
that's true.
like game servers on a bunch of stress, because you got to get the people in your servers, create tons of lobbies, host all these games of all these players all at once. And then the other
Yeah,
thing is whenever a product like comes out and everyone is waiting for it to come out, trying to pay for it as fast as possible, and then there's too many people on the uh, site and it crashes. But aside from that, you really don't see like sites getting overloaded and crashing, except for ChatGPT.
Yeah.
which is like every day there's just so many people trying to use it. It's craziness. You know what's
Yeah,
interesting
and when I
though?
saw that, I knew it was going to be influential. What's interesting?
I found that that whenever it says that it's at like peak capacity, if you just go to a different computer, you can sometimes access it.
Very odd.
So like I'll have it up on like one computer and it's like, oh, peak demand, can't use it, but then I'll go open it on another and then it lets me in. And I'll be like refreshing them both and it just and the one stays in and then the other one can't access it. And
I've seen that actually. So what I did one time
it's really weird.
was logged in through OpenAI's page. So you know how they've got like try Chat GPT in the top corner.
Hmm.
So I tried doing that and it said it was full. Then I went straight to chat.openai.com/chat
Uh-huh.
and it let me in.
Really? Maybe that
Yeah, it was
doesn't work
super
around
weird. Maybe there
because
is. Actually,
because
thinking about it now, there might actually just straight up be that workaround.
because it is entirely possible that I did that. I don't know though. I can't be certain, but it is possible that whenever I did it, I typed it in like ChatGPT on one computer and it took me on ChatGPT or OpenAI's blog post about it, and the other one could have just taken me straight to the chat.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's definitely a potential. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's something to try. That's something to try for sure. Like next time you can't get in, just
100%.
try going straight to the URL.
Have you paid to get Plus yet or no?
No, because I don't need it at this point. I've been every single time I've tried to use it, it's been fine.
I I almost bought it at one point whenever I my first time I asked too many questions. I was almost like, wow, I'm gonna buy it. Like, that's it.
Yeah,
But I didn't, and that's just because if you ask too many questions, have multiple computers or something. I don't know. Have multiple accounts on Google. Just change your account or something.
yeah, facts.
Just do something. And then you can like it's not going to be the same conversation, but you can teach itself what it already has taught you, and then like tell it what it told you, and then have it make choices based off of that.
True.
You know?
Yeah, you can feed it back the data that it just gave you,
Yeah.
and then
As
it's almost like starting the conversation from where you left off.
hmm
Not
which is
exactly the same, but like pretty close.
which is what I was trying to do with the AI search on Bing is I try to like in one wo- in one question try to like reframe my previous conversation, thus carrying on the actual conversation. I really have loved just playing around with ChatGPT and all this type of stuff because it's made me think a lot about questions and about how to
Yeah,
ask good questions, and then because like I'll I'll want it to do something, but you have to like know how to get from wanting to do something and the knowledge base that it has to a finished product. And how you do that is by asking questions, because the only skill it takes is the ability to ask questions and then take responses and then ask more questions.
yeah, absolutely. And I've seen that in my own life. Like getting better at asking questions to the AI has improved my ability to ask questions just in regular life, you know? So there was a guest speaker that came in on Thursday to my museum studies class, all right? And as he was talking, I just started writing down questions I had for him. And then when he finished, I had a page of questions for him. And so he was like, okay, anybody have any questions? And then me and this dude went back and forth. He took like 20 minutes to say his whole spiel. Me and this dude went back and forth for about a half an hour.
Nice. Incredible.
Like, I kind of felt bad because I capitalized on the class period, but the reality is, when you get opportunities like this to improve your skill of prompting, it's going to improve that skill across the board. It's not just going to improve when you're talking to a robot. It's going to
Yeah.
improve when you're talking to somebody else. You're going to get more information from conversations as you have just in real life because you
Right.
know how to get better information.
Yeah. And like one thing that you'll notice is if you clearly lay out what you want, you're more likely to get what you want. Like
Yeah, believe it or not.
like, if you just say like write an article about this, it's just going to give you whatever. But if you're laying out explicitly, say like write a college level article that is between 3 to 5 paragraphs long, each paragraph consisting of 6 to 8 sentences, the information for the article should be cited in MLA 9 format and should be sourced off of scholarly, peer-reviewed journals found off of Google Scholar, yada yada. You just keep going on and on. It'll do it. It'll do
Yeah.
whatever you say because you're essentially like artificial general intelligence is game changing. It's just
It's
game changing.
ridiculous.
Like previously, how programming worked is you have something that you have a task, a problem, an equation, something that you do over and over again that you don't want to do yourself, that a computer does. And you used to just build that one specific program to solve that one problem. But now we're just making that one model to answer all the questions.
Yeah, literally.
And
It's ridiculous.
and by answering all the questions can be, how do I do this? And then the only step between that is just taking something that learns how to get told how to do something and then do it.
Yeah.
Y-
It's
You know?
it's really
I
wild
keep on
because
looking over at you.
it's like having a professional in a field that you can just consult at any time of the day.
Yeah.
But not only having a professional in a field, having a professional in any field that you think about.
And that you can change what field of expertise they're in by telling them to change.
Yeah. It's wild.
Say
dude.
say for instance you want to know about the carbon bonds and the molecules of of humans and how that affects something, and you can say explain that to me from the perspective of a environmental biologist, and then you say now explain that to me from the perspective of a chemist, and it'll do that.
Yeah.
And it'll use terminology that is common in those different areas of expertise, as well as building off of what it believes to be the base knowledge that somebody in that field would have.
Yeah, and I can't wait for that to be integrated, or for longer prompts to be integrated into Bing, because I really want to look at current events between a political science point of view, an economist point of view, a geopolitical point of view.
Right. So
I want to be able to look at current events through different varying lenses.
yeah, I've really liked going through it and asking it or asking it the same question, but from different perspectives.
Yeah.
Because you learn a lot from just a computer. because it looks at it from a bunch of different ways, and it helps you to look at it from a bunch of different ways, and seeing it look at it from those different ways tells you how you can look at things in different ways as well.
So in any business, a lot of people say the number one thing you want to have is diversity of opinions. Because if you have only
ChatGPT
one
is the
opinion,
most diverse
then
opinion.
it could be the wrong one. Exactly. So You don't need any diversity anymore. It can just be you, and you've got every single diverse opinion you could ever want. You know,
Indeed, but
all from the same person. Believe it or not.
indeed. Well, I wouldn't say all the opinions you could ever want because it is not perfect and it needs more training. Um, I wonder which one's more accurate though, if we like tested them, Bing or Chat.
What do you mean by accurate?
If you ask it a question, what are the odds that you're likely to get false false
Incorrect information.
information in that answer?
Mm.
Are you more likely to get false information off of something that is pre-trained data or something that has access to current knowledge but also past knowledge? But then again, if it's just looking these things up, is it also influenced by the people who are paying money to have their search results higher? Oh, I think about
Yeah,
that.
that's a
And
very good question now.
if you pay more of that money, your data means a little more.
That's an interesting dynamic that we got to start thinking about actually. Moving into the future, because we can influence the AI, which can in turn influence the answers people are getting from these
Yeah,
prompts.
which
So
does
you can,
which
if
does
you,
kind of defeat the purpose of it.
yeah,
But,
absolutely.
I mean, some
But
people
I mean,
are
it's something to
corrupt.
think about for sure.
Definitely.
We could corrupt the AI.
Corrupt the AI. I mean,
Let's go.
yeah, let's go, baby. Corrupt the AI.
Corrupt the AI. Let's go.
Man,
Dude, we could just make the AI just spit out some like outrageous things just by making it the top search result. It could have the
exactly.
most outrageous viewpoints.
Now I'm actually really curious of how it answers questions about morality.
Yeah,
So
I've thought about that a lot actually.
once you finish this podcast, I'm about to go ask Bing some more questions.
I'm about to have a moral debate with Bing.
Exactly. I'm about to get Bing on one line and Jordan Peterson on the other, or something. I don't know.
Exactly.
That's the only name that I could think of that has to do with that.
Jordan Peterson deepfake.
Yeah, Jordan
The
Peterson
AI versus
deepfake.
the AI.
Dude, have you watched those things where it's just like a piece of content that it's just completely like a deep fake is talking and the text is generated by AI, right? To where it's
Yes,
just like, yes, we've gotten to the point where content is entirely electronically generated.
I know. It's super weird too.
Some
So
of it's funny
when
though.
AI was first thought about, the inception of AI, people thought the jobs that would be taken would be blue collar jobs, right? People are like, you know what? You know who is never gonna lose their job? You know, coders, lawyers, doctors, all these people that sit at desks.
Oh,
Reality is,
I have
now
a
that we're seeing it,
great
their jobs are gonna be taken immediately.
um one thing I will comment on um is, and this could be like a good uh last topic, is why we shouldn't vote on our phones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's
Because
up?
your phone doesn't have any malware on it. Do you trust everyone else? You don't click unusual links in your email, but do you trust everyone else?
Oh, yeah.
You,
That's
d-
100% facts.
you know, yeah. Because you gotta realize, maybe it's not as much of a problem in like basic stuff, but when you're controlling,
Government.
policies
When you're
that govern
controlling
a
the way,
nation.
so when you're controlling the way that America works,
When
and really
when you're
in
dealing
turn
with
controlling the
real
way the
power,
world
when
works.
you're dealing with real power that controls people's lives, people would, because think about that. As an adversary of our country, then you just invest hard in like a bunch of email, like campaigns and trying to like, get people to click on links just so you can get that like one bug in their phone, and then boom, cast votes for them. I keep looking over
Yeah.
here and forgetting that I have to look at the camera.
Yeah, but I can see that for sure. And thinking about it now, like it is kind of it's definitely us coming from a place of technological knowledge. Really, we've grown up with this stuff. But think about your grandpa. You know, how many malicious links has he clicked already? Too many.
Too many.
Too many.
Dude,
Yeah, I
who
got it.
knows what sort of software is on their
Yeah,
phones?
I remember in class watching my computer organization teacher. So this is a teacher teaching computer science concepts. He clicked the malicious link in class. We're watching it.
In
He's on the school
class.
computer on the projector, right? So he was showing us this software, this online web app we could use to build circuits, right? And or no, sorry, it was a system diagnosis software. And he was showing it to us, and he's like, actually, I think I can download this real quick. So he hits download. And then, you know how sometimes it goes to like a separate page, and then there's an ad with a big green button that says download,
No,
right?
dude, you know
It
what's
gets
so
served to you.
bad?
He clicked on the ad.
You know what's so bad?
What?
Is just any download page on the internet. Any download page. They're so bad. You go to a download page and like I consider myself fairly like security and computer aware, and sometimes I'll take 5 minutes
Yeah.
before I even click once. I'm like there are times where I will see 10 downloads pop up all at once, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh no, I really
You
want
have to
this
investigate
software.
every single one.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like I really want this. I really want like this
You have
software.
to
but
hover over every single one and see which one will get you to a .zip.
Yeah, but not all of them are. Sometimes you're downloading
Good Lord.
non-zips because sometimes
I know.
like how you download, you have to click on a link that like does like another service. So there are times where like I've had like it could be any one of these three, and so I have to go and find out who owns these links before I click
Yes.
on them. And I know people
You've
aren't
got to
doing that.
you've got to quarantine. You've got to create a partition in your hard drive and quarantine.
Like I know most people aren't doing that, and generally it's not a problem.
Yeah.
But when it comes to voting and politics, we're not there yet.
Yeah, all that stuff would ramp up immediately. You know, that would be huge.
I don't even know if we will ever be there. Like ever.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing with like, not to be mean, but like
Incompetence.
technological incompetence.
Yeah. And I mean,
Against-
just in general incompetence.
Being-
But those people can still get out and vote, believe it or not.
being put up against like the 10 hacking colleges in China where they have, you know, like world's best hackers by far. You know, China's beating us in technology pretty much at this point.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
I mean, they're at the very least beating us in how quickly they're advancing. Although most of their technology they just take from us, which is like, well, if they're just taking it from us, then that's not a problem, right? Well, not really. You know, like that's a big problem. They're
It's
taking
the same
it
thing
from
with
us.
Bing. All right, Bing right now is objectively better than anything else because of the AI. However, Bing was built on Chromium. So they literally took Chrome's platform, they built on top of it, and now it's better.
Oh, dude, there's so
So-
much stuff in computers that's just built on this and built on that. Like just
Yeah.
but that's just how it has to work.
That's just how it has to work. And realistically, like, I think the people that aren't going anywhere technologically are the ones that are stuck in their own ways. They're not willing to adopt somebody else's technology and build on it.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think we should also be careful about forcing companies into submission at the EU. Let's
hate
talk
that.
about the EU. Did you hear about how they want to make laws about artificial intelligence?
Yeah, I have heard about that.
I haven't.
Let's talk about that in the next pod.
Let's talk about that in the next
For
pod.
now, we've been going so long. We've talked about
A lot of we talked about artificial
AI
intelligence, and this guy has
for
COVID.
so long.
He's
Yeah,
got COVID.
I have COVID.
I got Bing search. You should sign
You know,
up. The link will be in the
multi-level
thing.
marketing.
That's right. We talked about affiliate marketing. We captured some OBS recordings that will probably be in the thing. We're at home this week. We probably won't be at home next week. Who knows?
Hopefully.
We could be in Arizona. I don't know.
Yeah, look, watch you
no
get
promises.
COVID. Watch you get COVID, and so we can't do it in the stew again.
Something.
Or in the shed.
Who knows?
Who knows? Well, without further ado, go follow us on Instagram at The Minimum Wage Pod.
And be sure to check out our Clips channel at MWP Clips on YouTube.
And this has been
The Minimum Wage Podcast. We're even the name.
The name is above our pay grade.
No, you can't, dude. There's too much desync.